The sun goes down, the stars come
Here
out.
are the two finalists in Hell's Kitchen. Her name is
Christina.
and
Justin.
And how is it to be on Hell's Kitchen?
It's scary. It's scary being out there and being on TV and working for Gordon. It's almost as scary as this interview right now.
Yeah, it is. It's a lot of fun though. We do a lot of fun things, and you never know what's going to come next. So you just gotta be ready for anything.
Were you guys surprised when your show was actually with you guys?
Yes. When we had to go on stage and cook,
Oh,
we're absolutely
very
shocked.
surprised. Very surprised.
Shocked.
And just saying Wolfgang Puck.
Oh, you met Wolfgang
Wow.
before we did.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Okay.
All
Because I
right.
still get the chills when I think about Medium.
Yeah, he was pretty cool.
Why do you like cooking?
Why do I like cooking? I think it's really fun to provide comfort through food. And my grandmother was a really great cook, and she used to do that for me. And I have all brothers, and they didn't really like to cook. So I have 3 older brothers. That was a fun ride, right? Took a couple of punches in the gut, but I always cooked for them because they didn't really know how, and they didn't really like it. So I love my brothers, and I was happy to. Plus, if I cooked, then they kind of let me tag along with them when they went and did really cool things.
I was born into it. My father's a chef. My brother's a chef. The whole family. You can imagine what our Thanksgiving dinners are like. It's always a battle. It's always Hell's Kitchen at my house.
Okay. Were you sad when all your friends went home from Hell's Kitchen?
I mean, I was a little bit sad when Danielle went home early in the season, and that was because she was the first one from our bedroom to go home. I was roommates with Barbie, Dana, Roshni, and Danielle. So when she got sent home, that's when I realized, oh my lord, this is a real thing, and it's a competition, and people are going to get sent home. And the only other person I really was sad about was Dana, but at that point there was only 3 of us left, so rather her than me. Right?
For me, I kind of got used to it. There was 16 eliminations, and I was up there for 15 out of 16. So after a while, you just watch people go home and move your bed around, and you deal with it.
I know I talked to you earlier and you said that you liked when you got to, even when you had a punishment, even if you didn't win.
Yeah, I really liked our punishment. The funny thing is, somehow the red team, in my opinion, we got really great punishments. We got to, we had to carry in half a cow, but we also got to butcher it. We had to stay up all night and not go to Vegas, but we got to work with the whole pig. So that was really fun. And also, I like to work out and try and stay in shape, and when you're there you don't have any time, and there's no treadmill, there's no real weights or anything. So for me, we had delivery day, which was a real pain in the butt, but it was a nice workout. We had to build the runway for the fashion show, really nice workout too. So for me, I got lucky in the punishments we got. I either learned something, got to cook with something that I wouldn't have otherwise. Comenza taught me how to make handmade pasta, which was awesome. That was a really grueling day. Or I got to work out a little bit. So the punishments were fine. For me, they were fine. My teammates, they yelled a lot, and I didn't like that so much, but otherwise it was good.
I went through a lot of punishments, and I did not like them. You saw the garbage one, you see how much I hated that punishment, and I still have nightmares about doing that.
Okay. So when you guys go to choose your teams, was it like a little shivering a little like
A little bit, because I knew because I got first pick, there was no doubt. I don't think anybody was surprised that I took Dana first at all, right? Of course I'm going to take Dana. She's awesome. She's great in prep. We work. We have similar work ethics, and we did really well as a team in the kitchen when we worked on the red side and then to black jackets. But after that, it was very strategic, and I had to think about another thing I really looked at. I looked at everybody's faces, and I know at that point I was so tired. We were running on maybe 3 or 4 hours sleep a night, and flying back and forth to Vegas, and punishments, challenges, service was all still happening. So I looked at everybody's face to see who I thought looked the most rested, which is why I went with Patrick second. He looked like he just had this glow about him, and I could tell he wanted to cook. And it didn't really get hard until it got down to Robin or Clemenza, and I knew how I catered my menu, and it was going to be really heavy prep, so that we had a little more breathing room during service. And I had prepped the kitchen with Clemenza, and I knew he wasn't the right fit for me.
For me, it was really hard actually. And if you saw me, I took like a 10-second step back, and I was just thinking to myself, because you know what, we're making one of the biggest decisions of our lives. We're in charge of that brigade, but at the same time, that brigade runs us. So if they don't produce for us and they don't do well for us and they don't cook and they're not on point that night, it could literally ruin our whole time in Hell's Kitchen. So for me, it was really scary.
You guys, you were thinking like, please choose Robin.
I was the whole time I was like, please choose Robin, because Robin caused a lot of controversy, and I can't deal with controversy. And Robin and I, we bump heads a lot, so I really didn't need that on my team. I didn't need it. I was trying to do my best not to get sabotaged.
And for me, I knew Robin wanted redemption. You know, I knew that she wasn't happy with the way she left, and that maybe, just maybe, she would want to like really kick butt her last service, so that people that watch the show knew that she actually can cook and that she's not always, you know, a crazy girl.
Because that's how we feel. You know, we feel that if you're in Hell's Kitchen, even if you go home and you come back, you got to give it everything you can, because this is the last time you'll ever be there. So if that's your job and people are going to see that, and you come back and you show them you can cook, you know, you prove something to the world. And we're happy we proved everything we can, I think.
Were you guys surprised that you guys
I was so surprised. I was, you know, because standing next to Justin and Dana, they were the two other best people there. So when watching that episode was funny for me, because I don't know why I thought it was okay to run up and hug Chef, but it's what I did, and they edited it out. But after I hugged him, I walked over. The poster was really big. You know, you saw when they dropped it, was scary. And so I then went and like stood under my poster, and I was just shaking. He said, "What are you doing? You know, get back in line." And I was like, "What?" I was like, "I'm sorry, I didn't know." So he, you know, it was really surprising for me, and obviously a happy surprise.
And it's so huge, not just yours, mine too.
Yeah.
It's so big. That poster is huge. And then what happened with they cut the money.
I know. I thought about that too.
Another time he dropped money from the ceiling. He dropped $250,000 from the ceiling, and we didn't know. And I must have jumped back at least 3 feet.
I jumped on Dana. I jumped on somebody, and I said the F word, unfortunately. And I told him that it wasn't cool. I was like, "That's not cool, Chef." That he really like. Yeah, I mean, I legitimately jumped on somebody.
We heard it like click off from the ceiling.
I didn't hear. I was like had eyes fixed on him, so it drops like this, and then all of a sudden it's right in front of my face, and it makes this big loud boom.
Huge boom.
And I don't remember who I jumped on. Maybe Dana. I can't remember when it was in filming, but whoever's standing next to me, I definitely jumped on, and then behind him, I told Chef it wasn't cool. He scared the hands off me.
Got out of the car.
And did you guys enjoy having those people to
Please give us a call.
Yes, from all the different chefs that came out there.
Or do you mean the girls in Miss America? Yeah.
Oh, it was very difficult.
Yeah, it's harder than
it was fun, but it was hard. It was hard to teach everyone.
Because so much of what we do in our profession, we use our hands. You know, you have to use your hands, right? So to have to actually just only verbally tell somebody who most of those girls aren't even home cooks, you know. So my girl she was the South Carolina 2006 winner. I can't remember her name. She was so sweet. She said that she at least had made chicken parm before, but never from a whole chicken. But she did really well, and yeah, it was neat. And it's always, again, because we never get to go outside and we don't really interact with other people. It's always nice when somebody comes in that you can talk to, and you realize there's still life happening outside of the set, you know.
Absolutely. For me, I had Tammy, and she was 18 years old and didn't know how to open a bottle of wine or anything, so it was actually really difficult. You got to cut dough, I think.
Yeah. So, thank you guys for coming to
Hair and makeup.
Yeah, hair and makeup.